morning, good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Dante, and I am hosting. It is Morning Motivation Evening Edition. Come on in. My God, what a time we're going to have tonight. Listen, it's becoming whole Wednesday. Y'all know what time it is. We just got out of the study. We had our morning edition. We had our afternoon. I'm here to give you your evening snack just to make sure you are fully complete and you full when you lay your head down to rest tonight. My God, I'm excited tonight. Y'all can see how excited I am. And I'm praying that you're as excited to be alive. Is anybody excited to be alive? I'm here. I'm stringing together great days. I need to see the folk on here this evening that said, I'm stringing together great days, day after day after day. Is getting better and better and better. Come on, because we know yesterday ended last night and today matters. This is your morning motivation evening edition, and I'm your host, Dr. Dante, and we're going to go ahead and get started. We are starting with John C. Maxwell. This is the book we're doing, Today Matters, and we're going right into it. We're right on page 30. We're going to start right at page 30. We're going to get down there where we kind of started it last night. We're going to kind of finish it up today, and we're going to keep on going. It's so good to see everybody on again. Hit your like, hit your tag someone, share it, make sure it's on your timeline. Let everybody know that you're watching Dr. Dante Live and Today Matters. They need to know, guess what? God is trying to propel us to our purpose, into our prophesied place. Listen, he is propelling us on purpose to our prophesied place. And I'm grateful that he's using me in this season to help you. All right, here we go. Page 30 at the bottom. Start now. My friend Dick Biggs, author of Burn Brightly Without Burning Out. That is, I can't get over this text, this title. You know God is calling you to burn brightly. That means you're fire. Somebody said it on discipleship last night. God, turn my fire up. I don't want my fire to go out. Don't let type it in there, y'all. Don't let your fire go out. You got to burn brightly without burning out. You know how you burn brightly without burning out? Live a purpose-driven life. Can we thank Rick Warren again? As many persons have already done it, but we're going to thank you. Have to live. Your life is lived on purpose. You get up with a purpose. You go to bed with a purpose. You go to work with a. Your life is driven by purpose. Pastor, how are you able to do all of these things? What is going on? I'm driven by purpose. Help me, God. All right. The greatest gap in life is the one between knowing and doing. That means you got a big gap. You know what you got to do, and then you doing it is too big of a gap. So we got to shrink this gap. You know what to do, but this is where you start doing it. But this gap in between, you got to shrink this gap. When you know it, you do it. That's the gap. You got to make sure now it's nothing in between. When God calls you to do it, you do it. There's no gaps in here. You obedient immediately. Somebody say, I'm going to be obedient immediately. I'm going to follow immediately. I'm going to do what God called me to do immediately. There is no gap between me knowing and me doing. I'm operating by faith. I'm not waiting for you to get on board. I'm not waiting for you to confirm. I'm doing what God called me to do regardless of who's not with me, because there's no gap between me knowing and me doing. No gaps. Somebody type in there, no more gaps. No more gaps. All right, here we go. Deep down, we all know that we want to change and grow. We need to get started. Yet we sometimes hesitate. Somebody say, I'm binding up that spirit of hesitation in my life. That spirit of hesitation is out of my life. It has been bound up. I have released it. I'm telling you, it has been rebuked, and it is out of that spirit of hesitation has been dealt with tonight. That's why Maureen Falcon, says most people fail in the starting. A few weeks ago, Sammy Poole emailed me something that captured the heart of the excuses we make. Again, don't allow your problems to become excuses. You know what your problems are: financial problems, marital problems, employment problems, children problems, church problems. Whatever your problem is, health problems, whatever your problem is, do not allow your problems to become excuses. Okay? Well, heart of it, we make for not beginning what we know we should start. In part, it says, so stop waiting. This is the part I missed. In part, so stop waiting. Everybody type that in there. It's at the bottom of page 30. So stop waiting. Stop waiting for what? Until your car or home is paid off. Stop waiting until you get a new car or home. Stop waiting until your kids leave the house. Stop waiting until you go back to school. Stop waiting until you finish school. Stop waiting until you lose pounds. Stop waiting until you gain 10 pounds. Stop waiting until you get married. Stop waiting until you get divorced. Stop waiting until you have kids. Stop waiting until you retire. Stop waiting until summer. Stop waiting until spring. Stop waiting until fall. Stop waiting until winter. Stop waiting until fall. Stop waiting until you die. Lord have mercy. Stop waiting. What are you waiting for? What is your hesitation? You're going to fail. You're going to make some mistakes. There are going to be some failures along the way. It's just part of the process. So stop waiting until you got the perfect season. Stop waiting until everything is lining up perfectly. Stop waiting. Big. You may have a million reasons not to get started now, but deep down, none of them can be as compelling as your desire to change, grow, and succeed. In a month or a year or 5 years from now, you may only have one regret: that you didn't start now. I'm telling you, I'm gonna challenge you, and I'm praying that you hear my voice throughout the day. Don't you leave this earth with any regrets. Don't you dare leave this earth. Don't you transition with any regrets. You have sought out to do everything God called you to do. You better leave empty of regrets. I regret I should have did this, or I should have did that, or I know God called me to do this, but I didn't. Somebody say, leave with no regrets. I'm going empty in my regret container. My regret container will be empty. I'm leaving with no regrets. Good. Today matters. The way you spend today really can change your life. But the first decision you must make is to begin. Start now. How to make these decisions a reality in your life. Cartoonist Charles Schulz, the creator of Peanuts, quipped, "Life is easier if you dread only one day at a time. But the truth is that you don't have to dread your days if you settle the decisions you need to make and the disciplines you need to practice in the critical areas of your life." You probably already noticed that this book contains a chapter containing each of the 12 critical areas in the Daily Dozen. After reading through the chapters, do the following to begin turning today into a masterpiece. So he's getting ready to give you another list, okay? All right. The first thing you need to do is review the decisions and ask yourself, which good decision have I already made? Undoubtedly, you will have already made decisions in many of the critical areas discussed in this book. Some you've made without really knowing it. Others you may have thought through very carefully. You may even have put some decisions in writing at certain points in your life. Begin the process of recognizing and acknowledging the positive steps you've already made. That's good, John. Thank you. Because you know what it is? You know what the problem is, everybody that's watching? So many of us have dwelled on the mistakes that we made. So many of us have dwelled on the trauma, the drama that has been perpetrated against us. We'll dwell on all the crazy and bad things that we've done or have allowed to happen to us. Or you can flip it now. Think about all the great things that you've done. Think about some of the great decisions you made. Think about some of the accomplishments that you've done throughout your life. I don't care how far back it is. You just don't get caught up in it. But just think about, man, my children are here. They're alive. Or my family is in good health. Or my family is together. And if your family is not together, you're together. Can you dwell on the fact that you're still in your right mind? Can you dwell on the fact that you're still here? Can you dwell on the fact that, guess what? It should have been the other way. If justice had its way, you wouldn't even be here. But by his grace and his mercy, can you dwell on some good things that you happened? Can you dwell on the fact that you're on this live tonight? Dwell on some great decisions. Reflect on some great decisions that you have made throughout your life. It's big. Because the enemy will consistently try to have you focus on the things you did wrong. Let me keep reading. Okay. Identify, the next thing he says, identify the decisions you still must make. What decisions do you have to make? Listen to what he says. I'm on page 32. There will also be areas to which you've not given any consideration before now. As you read some chapters, you may even find that there are a few you thought you'd settle, you'd settle, but haven't. Don't get discouraged, but do acknowledge you need to change. Acknowledge the fact that some things you need to change, but don't allow it to discourage you, because that's another trap. You'll be like, oh my gosh, I didn't do this. Why didn't I do this? Now I got to film this. Now this person is going to be dealing with this. Now I got to, now this. No, don't allow it to discourage you. Acknowledge that you have to do it. Write it down and I personally will create a checklist of those things that I need to accomplish. Okay. You can't improve in an area if it's not on your radar. Okay. Choose one of those decisions and determine to make it this week. Okay. You got a decision that you got to make. You some things that you got left out. There's some loose ends you got to clear. Make a decision that you're going to finish it this week. By Sunday, this decision is going to be made. Give yourself a deadline. By Sunday, Saturday night at 11:59 p.m., this decision is going to be made. Period. I'm stacking wins. Somebody talked to me today. I'm stacking wins. And you know what a win is? A decision that's made. See, we think a win is something big that we need to show that the world's going to know. A win is a decision made in this season of your life. A decision made. Okay, good. The third one. Choose one of these. I'm sorry, that wasn't. Choose one of these decisions determined to make it this week. When it comes to change, there are really only three kinds of people. When it comes to change, there are three kinds of people. Those who don't know what to do, those who know what to do but don't do it, those who know what to do and follow through. Somebody going to say, you know what? 1 and 2, they're not me anymore. Those who don't know what to do, those who know what to do but don't do it, I'm number 3. Everybody declare, I'm number 3. Those who know what to do and follow through. I'm following through on it as I'm making the decision. I got a decision I got to make this week, and I'm going to make it. And then I'm going to follow through with it. I know what I need to do. I know what to do, and I'm going to follow through. All right, somebody. This book has been written to help you be the third kind of person. I've attempted to be thorough in this book so that individuals who have given no attention to one of the 12 areas will have everything they need to tackle it and make it a success asset. However, one of the dangers of a book like this is that it covers so much ground that you may be tempted to go into too many directions at once. Just focus on one area at a time. Somebody say focus on one area at a time. Say it. Type it in there. Focus on one area at a time. This is good, y'all. John is firing us up. He is stirring us up, and he's giving us direction at the same time. You know what? Thank you, Holy Spirit. You know, we be getting fired up. We get excited, but we ain't got no direction. We preaching you into a fit with no direction. That is a sign of a fanatic, a fan. Many of us are fan of Jesus, fan of Christ. We don't take no direction from him. We need to have direction. So do not get caught up. You know what? I've seen it often. We got so many things that we're trying to do, and we have no direction. Everything that I'm doing lines up with discipleship. Everything. Overseas missions, discipleship. I'm teaching and preaching discipleship. All the ministries, leading by feeding, discipleship. You feed them. That's discipleship. Came out of the gospel. Collaborative healing, outpatient mental health. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, helping persons to renew their mind. Discipleship. In the church, discipleship classes, teaching and helping people become disciple makers. Everything that I'm doing lines up with discipleship. I'm going in one direction and one direction only. Find your direction. Find your assignment. And let's do it. All right, here we go. Okay, here we go. This is good. You don't have to keep dealing with them in the same. Okay, and remember, when it comes to the big decision in life, once you make them, you won't have to keep dealing with them in that way again. Learn the disciplines that go with each decision. I'm on page 33. Most people can make good decisions once they know what the issues are. But character and perseverance determines what happens after the decision is made. Somebody type in character and perseverance. Two critical attributes you need to make sure that are part of your life. I know some people right now that have some major issues with these two words. To help you follow through in each critical area, I've recommended disciplines for you to practice so that you can manage the decision well in your life. As you proceed, remember that while decisions can be made quickly, adopting disciplines in your life takes more time. Yes, we can make the decision, but in order for us to execute the decision, we have to adopt some disciplines. So I shared on many occasions how much of a blessing Morning Motivation has been. But I had to adopt the discipline of going through, of writing out the sermons, writing out the sermonettes, and then the discipline of coming in and being on time, and then the discipline of teaching it enthusiastically. I think that's the draw for so many of us. The draw is, I believe that my teaching and reading the word enthusiastically is what is drawing persons to me, to the word that I'm teaching. whatever you are doing, do it with some enthusiasm. My God. Nobody want to be around no dry, dead person. Do it with some enthusiasm. Put a smile on your face. Laugh a little bit. Show people that you love what you are doing. Okay, God, this is good stuff. Wow. This is good. Enthusiasm. Discipline. Adding discipline in your life takes more time. If you've lived without much self-discipline in the past, you'll need more time to learn them. However, if you are already a highly disciplined person, you will find it easier to adopt new disciplines. For some of us, I'm not gonna say y'all, some of us, we are not as disciplined in certain areas. So it's why it's very hard to consider to add it to our life because it's not really a part of our life. So you got to add a discipline daily to your life. It's it's a discipline for you to wake up and take care of your hygiene. It's a discipline. You think it's something everyone would do, but not everybody has that discipline. There's some disciplines that you do well. You just got to now do even more. You got to add more disciplines to your life. The more you add, the more discipline you add to your life, the more you are guaranteed a very, very successful life. All part of those disciplines. Amen. Okay. A victory of discipline in one area of life can carry over and help you win in other areas. I am a witness. Repeat the process until you've mastered each of the daily dozens. So you got to repeat the process. Once you're settled a critical decision and have a handle on and have a handle on its disciplines, then move on to another one. That's what I'm doing. I have to admit, I'm still working at this myself. For example, I didn't make the decision to exercise consistently until I was in my 50s. I understand you, John. And I'm still learning. I'm learning the discipline of it. Do I have it? Do I have it down? No. I'm still fighting the fight. Come on, somebody. Somebody say, listen, if you don't have it down, just keep fighting the fight. Type in there, fight the fight. Come on. You got to fight the fight of your mind of being lazy. You got to fight that lazy demon. That's what it is. It's demonic force. Laziness, procrastination. It's a demonic force. Fight that fight. It's hard. I'm not sitting there just because you see me doing this. I told y'all it's not the easiest thing in the world to do every day. I still got to add this. I got to add exercise discipline to my life to take care of my body. I got to fight that fight. You can't just whimper around and give up. Fight that fight. I'm getting better over time. I'm a work in progress. As I strive to move forward, I keep in mind that what I do in the future depends on what I already am. And and what I am is the result of previous years of discipline. I understand that that's really what has helped me in the season of my life. The product that you see here didn't just show up. These morning motivations in the morning and these morning motivations in the evening didn't just show up. I am a product of the disciplines that I've added to my life. It took discipline to finish those degrees. It's going to take discipline for you to finish what you need to start. It's going to take you sacrificing. I can't go here. I can't do that. I can't be with you. I can't go around here. I can't say that. It's going to take discipline. Thank you, Lord. His life is a masterpiece. His life is a masterpiece. I mentioned earlier in the chapter that I fulfilled my lifelong dream. of spending a half a day with John Wooden. He is an amazing man. He coached basketball for over 40 years. And in all those years, he had only one losing season, his first. Wow. Wow. Out of 40 years of coaching basketball, he had one losing season, and that was his first. He led his UCLA teams to 4 undefeated seasons and a record 10 NCAA championships, including 7 in a row. Wow. I didn't even know that about John Wooden. How do you have 4 undefeated seasons and then have 7 in a row NCAA championships? Discipline. Discipline. The success, the way his life became a masterpiece was through discipline. Look at this. No wonder he's called the Wizard of Westwood, the Los Angeles suburb where the UCLA campus is situated. Before I went to see him, I spent 3 weeks rereading his books and devouring every bit of information I could about him. Then on the appointed day, I met him for lunch at a little diner near his home where he eats regularly. When we met, he was 92 years old, but you wouldn't know it to talk to him. He's alert and he's sharp. Wow. God, I declare that over my life. 92, I will be alert and sharp. You better declare that over your life. 90s, 100, I will be alert and sharp. There will be nothing deficient about me. I may not be able to do things physically, but my mind will be, come on, alert and sharp. As we ate, I must have asked him 1,000 questions, and he answered them all graciously. I wanted to learn as much as I could about his leadership. I wanted to know why he thought he was able to win as he did. He said he attributed it to 4 things. Oh my God, that's good. Whew. I'm reading this and I'm losing it. The first one, analyzing players. The second, getting them to fulfill their role as part of the team. Third, paying attention to fundamentals and details. And 4, working well with others. Okay, I told you in the beginning that you are your own business. Have you analyzed the people that are around you? Lord have mercy. Have you truly analyzed? I don't care if it's family, mother, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, wife, children. I don't care who it is. Have you analyzed them to really know what they're good at and what they're not without your emotions attached to it? Have you analyzed them, not to find something bad on them or what they do wrong? No. Have you found out what they're good at and then knowing what they're not good at? So you don't put them in a position that they can fail, but you're going to put them in a position that they can succeed? Have you analyzed the people around you? This man had 7 in a row championships because the first thing he did was analyze his team. Y'all missing this. Y'all better grab hold of this. Everybody connected to you is part of your team. Thank you, Holy Ghost. Everyone connected to you, I don't care how they are connected to you, they are part of your team. And you need to analyze their strengths and understand what their weaknesses are. Analyze his players. Then he said, this is good, getting them to fulfill their roles as part of the team. You coach. You're coaching. You're coaching your players. You're making sure they're in the right positions. You're coaching them. You're making sure they know the plays. You're coaching them. You're helping them to understand their assignment, not as the individualist, but as a team player. Does everybody on your team want to be a part of the team, or do they want all the accolades, or they want to be the superstar? They want the light shine. No, if they can't be a part of the team, then they can't be a part of your team. Okay, I got to make sure I start this again tomorrow. Paying attention to fundamentals and details, and working well with others. Look, I'm going to come back to this tomorrow because that's big. That's big. If you can't be with the team, you can't be with the team. Do you have the boldness to make that kind of decision? Listen, this is a major book that we're reading. Today Matters by John C. Maxwell. Please make sure you get yourself a copy. Follow along with me as I read. Yes, it's a pretty thick book, but guess what? When we finish, we're going to be better than the ones that didn't read it. I'm telling you that right now. Listen, don't forget, yesterday ended last night. Today matters. No matter what you're going through, no matter what you're dealing with, make sure you understand it ain't nothing you can do to change it, because today matters. Yesterday ended last night. Listen, I'm your host, Dr. Dante, and this has been the Morning Motivation Evening Edition. Listen, and I'll see you on tomorrow. What a great day God has in store for us on this day. God bless. See you tomorrow night.